Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Conversations with the Empress. I am the Empress. Um, Today I want to talk about how racist people are not normally the people you think are racist. Racism is not always so blatant in your face, like, oh, you're the N-word, or oh, somebody trying to kidnap you and lynch you, or it's not always that straightforward. And honestly, you will be able to know if someone's racist the more conscious you are. If you're not conscious, people could do racist things to you all the time and you're not going to pick up on it because you don't know. But my mother was telling me about this book. I haven't read it yet, but I want to read it. It's called Nice Racism. And it basically talks about the things that people do that are overtly racist. But they don't even realize it, or they use it as a way to hide the fact that they're racist. So let's start with this. In my personal experience in my life with white people, the most racist white people I have met are the ones who say they're not racist. Okay? The ones who say, oh, I have black friends, or I'm not racist. Oh, well, my family comes from a really racist family, but I'm not racist. It's the people that feel the need to say they're not racist are the ones who are racist. Because if you're not racist, it's not even something that you think about because you're not racist. I experience this a lot with work. People, thinking that I don't pick up on the racist shit that they say and do when I actually do. I'm very intelligent, first of all. And I'm very conscious when it comes to shit like that. One of the ways you can really tell when somebody's racist at work is double standards. If they treat white employees differently than they treat black employees, if they give promotions and raises to white employees and not black employees. It's happened to me several times in different jobs. I've called people out on their racist shit because I'm not going to tolerate you being racist. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it because I am conscious and because I am woke and because I give a fuck. I'm not going to do it. So if you want to do racist shit in front of me, you're going to get called out on it because I just don't play them games. But I've had to call people out on racism in the workplace before. And I kind of do it in an unapologetic and fearless way because I don't give a fuck. If you want to fire me for calling you out on your racism or speaking truth, then that's on you. At the end of the day, I know what's what, I've dealt with racism at me too at work. I had cornrows in the front and an afro in the back. And it was real cute. Little flat twists or whatever. And my supervisor at the time was joking around about my hair with another employee, and he thought that shit was funny. Okay, this was in 2005, so let's tell you how far back it went. I didn't let that shit slide. I went into his office and I told him, I said, you making fun of my hair is inappropriate and it's discriminatory, and I said, I don't appreciate it. It's unprofessional. And at that point, he looked like I had 5 heads, because this is the thing that y'all don't understand. Racist people do not expect you to call them out on their fucking racist shit. They don't expect you to. They expect for it to be either ignored, accepted, or not even recognized. That shit don't fly with me. Do some racist shit in front of me. Say some racist shit to me or somebody in front of me. You're going to see that I'm not going to let your shit slide. And so at that point, he apologized or whatever. And then we had that boundary. This is my thing. You're going to work with people from all different walks of life. You're going to work with people from all different cultures. And at the end of the day, you have to work together. Okay? Me personally, I can hate your ass and still be professional and work with you at work. I can. It's not a problem for me. But I'm not going to let you disrespect me in any type of way. And I'm not going to let you disrespect somebody else that look like me neither. So, and in all actuality, I feel like companies that I've worked for, when I've had to call out racism, should be happy that all I did was call it out. Because I could have took it to a whole nother level and, made it into more and more and more, which wouldn't have been wrong on my part. But, you know, at the end of the day, sometimes bringing attention to something is enough. You know, it's very, sometimes I feel like racist people that try to say slick shit or, you know, little, you know, sly little racist comments and stuff. Black people have been experiencing racism since the womb. Like, we come out of the womb black. We come from black parents. We are black for the rest of our lives. And racism is something that we have to deal with from a baby, okay? So, me personally, it's going to be hard for you to slide some racist shit by me because I'm already looking at you a certain way. Like, I look at people when I meet them, I vet them, so to speak, because you never really know. Because I'm black. You can see that I'm black. I can't take off my blackness. It's not something that I can hide. But white people can be racist as fuck and still sit in your face and not tell you that they're racist. They're not going to. And that is another argument that I have. If you really feel like it's right for you to be racist, then you would be out and open about it. The same way I'm proud to be black, and I don't feel like it's wrong for me to say I'm proud to be black. I'm proud of my people. I'm proud of my culture and all of that. If you're proud of being racist, then why do you feel the need to hide how you feel? Why do you feel the need to hide behind overt racism? Just say what it is, because honestly, it's easier to deal with that way. It takes the work out of it for me, because then I don't have to sit there and look at you and figure shit out. And I will figure shit out. You know, maneuvering in this world, in the workplace, everywhere as a black person, that's exactly what it is, maneuvering, okay? Other people, particularly white people, y'all don't have to maneuver. Y'all just get to live y'all lives. Y'all don't have to think about the things that we think about. You don't have to worry about the things that we worry about. Granted, we do have similar things. We all want love, food, air, a roof over our head, and stuff like that. But the things that black people have to maneuver, you do not have to maneuver. We have a whole different type of intelligence when it comes to certain things that white people don't have to develop, because they're never victims of the same things we're victims of. I am very, very, very grateful and blessed to have had the parents that I have, because, and not only just my parents, but my family too. Like, my family too, very proud black people, very much into history and education and things of that nature. So it definitely makes it easier for me to spot things, and I definitely am strong in my beliefs and my positions about things, but that comes from my parents. What I will say is, to black people, people of color in general, educate yourself about yourself. Educate yourself about your culture, about your history, and pay attention. You know, pay attention when people say certain things to you. You know, pay attention to how people move in situations and the differences between how they moving with this person and how they moving with that person. It's very, very plain to see when you think about it. If you're at a job and a white person gets fired, and then you see a black person get fired, and the way they deal with the white person is different than how they deal with the black person, that's some racist shit. Because if we're all employees of the same company, then we should all be treated the same when we get fired or when we resign or whatever. And pay attention to the things that piss people off. Because a lot of times the things that piss them off is a way for you to see if they're racist or not. I'm just laughing because sometimes when I'm talking on here, I really just want to say what I want to say, but I'm always trying to say it in a way so it can get through to everyone. And sometimes that's difficult, especially being on this end of it. But I say all that to say, just be aware. You know, be aware if you see injustice happening, if you see racism happening, if you experience it yourself, do not be afraid to speak up. Do not be afraid to speak out. Like, we need people to speak out. And this goes for white people too, because every white person is not racist, okay? I don't think every white person is racist. There's a lot of good white people out here. But what I will say about white people is y'all need to do y'all part to stop racism, okay? Because black people being the oppressed people, we can't stop some shit that's being inflicted upon us, okay? The people that need to stop racism are the people that created it, and that's white people. My opinion, my feeling, as far as I'm concerned, that's facts. You can feel however you want to feel about it. But if you can sit up and tell me that racism wouldn't die if every white person stopped being racist, there would be no racism. There would be no oppression. It just wouldn't be that way. And we as black people have been fighting for years to stop racism, to stop oppression, to stop that shit. And it goes on and on and on because nobody gives a fuck. But when white people start speaking up about shit, that's when shit will change. And I've been saying this for a long time. You know, I lost a lot of friends during the COVID shit because of the whole George Floyd thing and people not wanting to stand up and say shit. You know, it's not about you picking a side. It's about you doing your duty as a white person. Whether you are a racist, whether your family was slave owners or whatever, whether you know, were not a racist or you are a racist or whatever, like, it's your job to stop racism. It's not our job to do that. And so if you're a white person just sitting around like, oh, well, I don't know, I'm ignorant and I don't know, and I don't know how I can help, or oh, that's horrible and whatever, that's not doing nothing to stop shit. You need to be out here when you're out paying attention and speaking up when you see some racist shit happening, okay? And racist shit happens all the time. If you're in a store and you see a black person getting followed around the store, you should be asking that person, why are you following her around the store? Why are you following him around the store? If you see a black person getting upset about somebody doing some racist shit to them and you seeing it, speak up for them. Have their back, okay? That's how we end racism. That's how racism ends. We have to unite and white people have to speak up. But you know, if y'all don't want to speak up, I'll still speak up. I'm unapologetically black. And I let it be known. Don't play with me. I love everybody. But don't play with them racist games. Don't play that shit with me. You know, it reminds me of, I have a friend. And her daughter, I believe, is 15. And when I tell you this daughter, like, if I had a child, I would want my child to have this girl's mindset. She's 15 years old. She's brilliant. She's so smart and beautiful and just so awake and just so conscious. And I'm just so impressed with her all the time because when I was 15, I wasn't even thinking about the stuff she thinks about. But anyway, she had to go away on this program for like forensics or something. She's like really smart, super smart. And when she went to the program, she was the only black person. That's the other thing. You know, when you're the only black person, them situations could be really uncomfortable. You know, they could be really uncomfortable. So, you know, long story short, she was the only black person. I think it was her and maybe two other black people, but they weren't like her. They weren't conscious like her. They weren't knowledgeable like her. They weren't brave like her. And so she had to share rooms with people during this time. And I'm summing up the story as best I can, but she was the only black girl in this room with this room full of white girls. And race topics came up, okay? And she proceeded to educate them about the things that they were wrong about. And, you know, she talked to them about slavery. She talked to them about how, you know, back in the day, they had black people nursing white babies and the white mothers weren't nursing the babies, the black mothers would. And these white girls never knew that. Like, they never knew that. There was things that she told them and taught them that they never knew. And she did it with such grace and such strength and such just unapologetically black. I was so proud of her. Like, she's not my daughter, but I was so proud of her because I thought about me at 15 if I would have been able to handle that situation without being emotional, because, you know, that's the part that white people don't understand either. Like, when we have to talk about trauma and we have to talk about history and the things that's been done to our people, it is upsetting, okay? It's hard to talk about it. Like, it's hard to express it without getting emotional. I mean, even for me at 41, it's hard. And she conducted herself with so much poise, as if she knew that this moment was the moment that she could make a difference in these girls' lives by telling them the truth. And I was just so proud of her. You know, this is really where this whole episode is coming from, is that she's 15, okay? Her parents have her at a place where she can recognize racism, and she feels strong enough to speak up about it. You know, she doesn't let shit slide. And I just appreciate her, and I love her so much for that. But that's how we all should be. We all should aspire to be people who speak truth and call people out on their bullshit when they're doing racist bullshit. You know, we can't live in a place of anger and bitterness and things like that, because that doesn't help to change the situation. It doesn't help to change minds. It doesn't help to enlighten people. You know, and I've even said too, when I had my locks, you know, white people coming to me and want to touch my hair and stuff, and not even just touch my hair, because I ain't let people touch my hair, but ask me questions about my hair. I don't get offended when white people ask me questions about anything about my blackness. I don't get offended, because I feel like this. Maybe they've never had a black person that they felt comfortable to ask them questions. You know, it's kind of like having a trans person in your life or a gay person in your life. If you've never interacted with a gay person or trans person, and you find somebody that's willing to sit there and field your questions and educate you about them and what it's like to be gay or what it's like to be trans, that is a blessing. Like, to be able to have somebody there to give you that type of information, that is a blessing. You know, and it's a blessing to be able to educate and enlighten people. At least that's how I feel. I don't know. I know I'm like all around about and stuff like that, but this was just something that was on my mind. And I hope it hit home for somebody, and I hope it made y'all feel better out here in this world when you're dealing with shit. Like, you know, like, it's hard. It's definitely hard being black and dealing with racism. It's definitely hard. The sad thing is, it happens so much that I think that we just get used to it, and a lot of us are just desensitized to it and just going about our lives like that shit is normal. I'm trying to normalize calling out people on their bullshit. That's what I'm trying to normalize. Let's normalize that, okay? Anyway, that's all I have to say. Hope this message hit somebody home and gave you some enlightenment or whatever. If you like me, you like my channel, you like what I have to say, please go like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And in the meantime, smooches.